children.
Do you know how many people have been raped by the IDF and killed with rifle butts up their butt? Are you aware of that?
No.
There are videos of that happening. There's no video of Israelis being raped.
Yes, there is.
And if there is, it's terrible, and I condemn it.
All right, folks. Well, this woman approached Mike Huckabee and told him that there is a Holocaust happening against the children inside of the Gaza Strip. I am the other Barack. I am coming to you live and direct here from the Holy Land in Israel. Folks, we recently hit 200,000 subscribers. 200,000 subscribers, which is insane. So grateful for all of you, and for the new subscribers, welcome. It is a very fun milestone to celebrate, but we continue and push forward. Next is 500,000, 500,000. Next is 1 million, and we continue to move on. And if you're brand new here, I provide a boots on the ground reality for what is going on in the Middle East. This is not what mainstream media is. In fact, I also have a free newsletter. The link is in the description of this video, where I share things with you about my life, endeavors, and projects that I'm not really sharing here on YouTube. And we're growing there as well. So if you want some access, more access to me, please just enter in your email address. Here is the
It's been printed by the Gaza
Which is every major humanitarian organization across the globe is condemning what's going on. It is a Holocaust against children and women and elderly people. I am a Jew. I was raised to believe never again, and that the world should never be silent in the face of the Holocaust. And that is exactly what's going on now. That's exactly what's going on.
Is there any particular reason we need so many cameras?
There's no justification for genocide.
Well, there's not, and that's why when Hamas came over the border and they raped women in front of their
Do you
children.
know how many people have been raped by the IDF and killed with rifle butts up their butt? Are you aware of that?
No.
There are videos of that happening. There's no video of Israelis being raped.
Yes, there is.
And if there is, it's terrible, and I condemn it. Do you condemn the genocide?
Anything.
This is where this conversation. You know what? Let me let this clip finish. There's only 20 seconds left. Then I'll chime in, people.
That is proved to be a crime against the person that is an innocent civilian.
Okay, well, there's plenty of that. Plenty.
Thank you very much for.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, I have a question for you, please.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
Frankly, I hope you burn in hell.
And you know what? I really.
Saw that one coming. Karen, Susan, Kathy. You know what? I'm going to hit you guys with a zinger. You ready for this? The war that we have right now in the world is not just a conflict between two groups of people that disagree with each other on something fundamental. That's not what we have. It's actually way deeper than that. Because this war and this conflict, just like racism in America, these things have patches put on them. It's like putting your finger on the dam, but then the water breaks again. The water pressure's too high, it's too hard, and the finger has to come off, and then you have a mess. And then we figure out ways to patch it back up, put your finger back on, and it can only hold for so long. That's why anti-Semitism is as bad as it is. That's why the divide between, for the sake of the conversation, pro-Palestine and pro-Israel is so wide. What we are really dealing with is a war on consciousness. We all, as individuals in the world, grow up. We have childhood experiences. We go through early childhood development. We're raised by either one parent, two parents, maybe a different guardian, a grandmother, grandparent. Maybe some people aren't even raised with somebody who's loving them in their family. All of these experiences mold and shape us actually through our subconscious brain, because we don't realize a lot of these events and experiences happening early on in our life. And this forms actually memory storage and experience within our DNA, especially between the ages of 6, 7, and 8. Some of the most fundamental years of human being lives, because those years plant a lot of the seeds as to how later on that person's life plays out in terms of how their experiences with love, with relationships. And we don't get taught how to cope and manage these things, such as trauma and stress and anxiety. We aren't given the toolkit on how to deal with consciousness in the world. It's actually a fact. We don't learn this in high school. We don't learn this in college. If you're lucky, like someone like me, who's been around a family and parents who are quite spiritual. My mom is a very big believer in energy. She does Reiki, and I grew up in a house with 2 rabbis. And so I was kind of always around the spiritual household, if you will. Without the work that we all need to do as individuals to weed out a lot of these traumas and experiences that are actually on a invisible bag hanging over our shoulder since the age of 6 that we carry with us wherever we go, without getting the work done to remove that baggage off of our shoulder and that weight, we then project a lot of these traumas and experiences and stresses that we have in our lives that have been on our shoulders, in this woman's case, maybe 40 to 50 years. We carry that with us and then project it onto other people. And the reason we project it onto other people is because we have not been taught how to raise our consciousness. We're not taught this. As individuals, we don't do it enough. And when all of our individual consciousness, each one of us, apologies, I'm still coming off a trip in the United States and very jet lagged, or making up words here on YouTube. Welcome. I also do that here sometimes and make fun of myself. When we are not all working on our individual consciousness, and it's being pulled down to these lower frequencies of anger and violence and shame and humiliation and fear and all the isms, that energy and frequency tends to pull others down too. This woman and many of the people which are overly emotional and underly informed, believe it or not, this woman has a lot of work she has to do. And I hope she sees this. She has a lot of work she has to do on herself before she can expect to fix anything with anyone else in her world. And the reason I know that that's true is because when it comes to deploying empathy to other people in the world, you cannot expect to have empathy for other people if you have not found a way to have empathy for yourself first. And in order to have empathy for yourself first, you have to do a lot of inner work and dig down deep, hard work, whether it's through therapy, whether it's through astrology, whether it's through healing, whether it's through energy, whether it's through going through experiences through your childhood and talking things out, whatever it is, yoga, meditation, breath work, I have no idea. Until you find a way to love who you are and love yourself and exit those low frequencies of anger and violence, what you just saw. Anger, she approached him with that. Violence, she deployed right at the end. It's right there in front of you. I'm taking this minute for minute, second for second of this video as a prime example of where I'm going with this. Until she removes her baggage that she's carrying with her without her even realizing it, because it's in her subconscious, she hasn't had somebody allow her to tap into some of those subconscious thoughts. So she's just living in her conscious body. That's all she knows. She doesn't know anything right or left, up or down. Until she fixes that, this is who she's going to be. And until she fixes that, she won't be able to A, have the relationship she needs to with herself, and B, by default, then will prevent her from having the better relationships with the people around her, which is why you will never see her right now until she does this work, interact with Mike Huckabee, and not walk away with wishing him a death. I'm going on a tangent here, and I'm really kind of pulling a left turn. Can you even say that? Well, this is a curveball for all of you, because I don't talk about this a lot on my channel, but I've actually been doing a very fair amount of work on myself with a healer. She's an astrologist, a Reiki master. She studied Kabbalah and she converted to Judaism. She's now my full-time therapist, healer, guide, or whatever you want to call it. And I've been working with her for about 4 months now, 5 months. And the first time ever was when she gave me Reiki in 2024. I just came back from seeing her in LA. I know how I can measure the difference in my own frequency from October 7th to September 30th, which is when this video was recorded, 2025, in terms of how I feel, how I talk, how I address things, how I make content, my tone, all of it has evolved. And I can see also now the difference in what happens in my own world, in my own life, in my own energy radiance, in everything. When I've spent the time working on myself, and I'm only 4.5 months into this, but I've also been meant to do this work because, and even Heather, who's my healer, she'll tell you this too, I'm for sure at this point. And I knew this before working with her, but I'm a superhuman, and I know that I'm a superhuman. I'm not a normal person, and I'm meant to do a lot of really big things. And one of them is shine a really big light onto humanity. And in order to be able to do that, you have to have already been on your way up the stairs in being able to elevate your consciousness. And I was already there, but then Heather really allowed me to tap into that quicker and faster. And I can see it manifest into my life and even manifest into the conversations that I have and carry now and also watch when it comes to this. October 10th, 15th, 20th, 2023. If I responded to this video right now, this is a different Barack. I promise you that. But since I was here and now I'm here, and I kind of have this helicopter view right now of what's going on. Like I'm taking a peek from above. Shit's starting to make sense to me, my guy. Like I'm onto something. We have a war of consciousness here. This isn't because this woman had a bad day per se, or doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't even love who she is. She doesn't love herself. She doesn't know how to rise in consciousness and achieve higher frequencies. Bliss, happiness, gratitude, love. Love is the ultimate frequency. When does love ever lose? It doesn't. It doesn't because it always wins. How does it always win? Name me a time it didn't. Love always wins. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Love always wins. It's always the answer. It's not even a fucking debate. She does not operate at a high frequency. When you walk away from a conversation, one which you didn't even really get into for the right reasons, because if you walk away from that conversation and then wishing them death, it says way more about her than it does about anybody else, not even the person recording the video. And you guys need to really think deeply about that. We have a war of consciousness, people. We have to rise, and what we're going to be seeing more and more now is more people obviously breaking down, but we're going to have an increased emphasis on learning what consciousness is. I promise you that, and I'm going to be a part of it. I hope you're brand new to this channel because this ain't no fucking regular YouTube channel, people. This is the other Barack. I call myself the other Barack. Other meaning be unique, be different. Don't be average, don't fit in. You don't want to be like other people. Why would you ever want to be like other people? I for sure don't. I embrace being different. I embrace being crazy. I embrace being unique. I embrace not being like everyone around me. Embracing that is a big part of falling in love with who you are because none of us are fucking carved out perfectly. We all have different things about us, whether how we look, how we dress, our facial features, aesthetics, our height, our bodies, embracing that. That's what this channel is about. This channel is about truth and embracing uniqueness. So if you're brand new, welcome. I'm about to fucking make sure that you embrace your difference. Links in the description of this video to help this channel grow. Thank you so much. Here's a note from me. Here are 4 ways you can help us grow if you believe in our mission. On Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal, you can directly contribute to helping this message grow and reach more people across the world. If you want to join the inner circle, join our Patreon with different tiers, and of course, our Discord community, which is free with people from all across the world. The links to every single one are in the description. And last but not least, to the other Barack community, I love you. Ani ohev otchem. I'll see you guys next time.